Hello, and welcome to Dice Dropping Song of Ice and Fire role-playing game, The Chronicles of House Weirlight. Hello, House Weirlight.
Hello, narrator.
Hello.
Hello. Right, so been some new, we're getting into a whole new arc in the game. Everyone real excited about it.
I'm terrified but excited.
Oh, I have to increase my age. Hold on.
I'm older.
That's right.
Older, wiser.
One of those things for sure. No, not quite. But yes, yeah, people are older. The last time we saw the twins was essentially their 16th birthday, and now it is well past their 18th. They are man and woman grown.
Older, sexier, more powerful.
Indeed.
All the above.
Quick, Aaron, strike a pose.
And I will be getting in the description of how you all, if there's anything different about your look in the past 2 years, and if you look any different. But we'll deal with that in a second. But it's good to see everyone. Obviously, our Lord Tedric couldn't make it here tonight, and which is okay because right now he isn't home. He is on the front, dealing with, as far as the Greater Reach knows, just a nuisance on his land that he will be dealt with post haste.
Stupid bandits.
Indeed. But it's fine. So we will essentially be going back and forth between Field and Hall, of course, in our lovely red lands, and of course, far to the north, to the capital of the Reach, the only capital that really actually matters.
To us.
Exactly. To Highgarden, where our lovely Mariella and Nymora are. So we'll be kind of just going back and forth, seeing how the story unfolds in both places, and eventually maybe you'll start to see how those two things can become connected. We'll see. But I'm very happy to have you guys all here. We've already done a lot of like housekeeping and, stuff, putting in stuff for characters and things of that nature. So we can kind of just start to get into it. But first, just a little bit of stuff, some things some of you had sent out for and now would sort of be more aware of. The only thing is, before we really come fully into the 2 years, Nymora, you of course did receive a semi-prompt response from your illegitimate father about the strange snake-tongued assassins that came to Field and Hall, and he goes, yes, he is aware of that organization. It's an
organization.
Yeah, they are known as the Mouth of Neheb. They're a religious cult that works as like assassins, essentially. They're a full cult. They do not worship a god. They just worship the concept of snakes' ability to survival in the deep desert. Yeah, no, they're full crazy. Like, everyone knows they're crazy. They do insane rituals to like become like a member. But he goes, the real thing though is most people don't join. They generally just kidnap children and raise them.
Yeah, this is a buy 5 slave children for the price of 2 thing.
Yeah. And sometimes like, oh, you want us to kill like your brother so you can ascend the throne? Cool, give us your child. And then people go, yeah, sure, okay. They like babies. They like children. They don't really care much what gender it is. What with being from Dorne. But yeah, no, they're known to just work for anyone who will do stuff for them. So that's something you knew and could have told everyone.
Yeah.
But you definitely would know this would have been a job. They won't try to get revenge for you killing their men. They don't care. Like
Hmm.
they failed on a job, so obviously they weren't good enough. No one's gonna come for revenge.
Yeah, I would have I would send that to the Lord and Lady just to
Mhm.
keep them updated and just be like,
Yeah.
just so you know, that guy in your no one's coming for that guy in the tower. You can do
Yeah.
whatever you want with him.
Yeah.
Thanks.
Yeah, and but the funny thing is, the guy in the tower did not even know the name of the cult he was in,
No,
which sort of tracks for what you've heard your
they
dad
just
says about them.
took a drug addict off the streets and were like, hey, bud.
Well, he specifically said he took him when he was like a child, and then they
Mhm.
just fed him drugs, and as they preached a weird philosophy to him, and now he just kills for them because what else am I gonna do? Because I
Mhm.
really want that snake drug. Also, yes, they believe they can turn into snakes. Some people swear they totally can, but also those people are really known to like smoke hookah a lot.
Uh-huh.
And aren't lords. So, like,
There's a man sitting in a corner at the bar.
yeah.
I saw a man turn into a snake. I
Did
swear it
you?
on my mother's grave.
Mhm.
Buy me another drink, I'll tell you more.
Exactly.
Okay.
He's got
All right.
very, very blurry.
Not an ongoing threat.
Mhm. Exactly. Yeah. So, but what we are going to kind of just start out and kind of zoom in a bit to Mariella. You are somewhat roused awake by the sun hitting your face as your curtains are fully drawn. As your girl Constance, she begins to get you up. She goes, "All right, I think time to get up. It's about an hour before Lady Marjorie needs to be up."
All right. All right.
Mm-hmm. And as we see Mariella sit up, do we notice anything new and different as she gets ready for the day? Is her hair different? After all, they do wear their hair different in Highgarden.
I definitely think it's longer now.
Okay.
I don't
very
think she's
popular.
grown any. I think she's stuck at her 5'6".
That I would agree with that.
I
Yeah.
think she's stuck at her 5'6".
Yeah, I think she's done growing.
I think she's kind of like hit that last little bit of shedding, like kind of the adolescent figure to like more of the woman's figure, so like slightly more curvy. I don't think she's gonna be one of those voluptuous girls, but like kind of like nice, like evenly proportioned kind of
Yeah.
an individual. But I think with the weight of her hair, there's a little less wave in it now, just because there's more of it.
I see. Do you keep it? It is the Highgarden style to pull it fully back. Does she do that? Especially for young ladies.
I think she does, but not necessarily always like in the very
That was an accident.
just randomly rolling.
Crispin does a sweet kickflip.
I think she does like mixes of like curls and braids and stuff to kind of have it up where it's like maybe slightly different than to some of the more I don't want to say traditional, but like more common pinnings that you might see for some of the ladies.
Yeah. So, of course, Constance will put a special hairpin into your hair, which was a gift on your 18th name day from Marjorie, and its symbol and shape is an inside joke between you two. What is it?
Symbol and its shape.
Yeah, like does it look like a butterfly? Does it
No.
like have like a bird on it?
I think it would be a bird
Mhm.
of some variety. Where it's like kind of in a position to like you're not sure if it's landing or if it's about to take flight, kind of like one of those things kind of reminiscent to like her hiding on me. Like on the first thing it's like, what you gonna
Mhm.
do?
Mhm. Very
um,
nice.
Ma'am.
All right, excellent. That's placed in your hair. And you get up, and what color do we see you wearing? Are you wearing what your station will allow you to wear kind of whatever, but you are a handmaiden to Lady Marjorie, and traditionally they do wear a sort of like robin's egg blue. Are you wearing that, or are you wearing something different?
um I think it would have elements of robin's egg, but correct me if I'm wrong. It's like our house colors are red and purple. Like, what's our default metallic? I'm trying to remember what that was. What was it, like
What I
silver or something?
understand, from what I understand, the metallic for your house would have been silver,
Okay. Yeah,
probably.
so I think it would be predominantly kind of like a silver gray with like accents of like the sky blue.
Excellent. Yeah, absolutely. Show that you are subservient, but you are also Mariella Weirlight. Yeah, no, that's very acceptable.
I'm not going to assume being able to wear gold. That is
mm. Yeah, no, absolutely. Yeah, most women's like the jewelry, a lot of the handmaidens wear is generally like bronze, because it is really rude to wear gold,
yeah.
seeing as it is a color of House Tyrell.
Yeah.
Um,
I don't do that. I know better than
yeah.
that.
Yeah, it's you can do it, but people will find you very rude and talk about you behind your back, because that's what Highgarden is.
It's what court
No
is.
one, no one in Highgarden gets assassinated, but people do get socially ruined. And that's what they do here. There is no real bodily threat in Highgarden, just a
Get
social one.
socially murdered.
Social
Mhm.
annihilation, yes.
Exactly, a social assassination. Yes, indeed. Yeah, absolutely. So you lead out with Constance, and eventually you come into step with another young lady. This is a young lady who is also a handmaiden directly alongside of you, of Marjorie Tyrell. You are her two handmaidens. Her name is Mina. Mina Forrester.
Okay.
She is just like you, the first daughter of her house. She's from a northern house. That the Tyrells have a connection to, essentially. They are bannermen directly to the Starks. And she is very cordial, very polite. She's not standoffish, but there is
Reserve.
there is a lot more reserve. So the fact that both of you are very similar in that way, she has a sort of she always has very good posture. She has very dark hair like you, but she has kind of more gray eyes. She's also you're what you said, 5'6"?
Yep.
Yeah, so she's she's like a few inches taller than you. She's like a 5'8", 5'9". She has like a very long neck. But she has definitely, I think, over the 2 years attempted to be your friend. She's not rude or looks down on you, but even remotely. She doesn't smile a lot. Her default is like a very neutral face or like a worried face, because she doesn't know anything about Southern culture. She got this position due to essentially during a very unique portion in the Battle of Ashford, Lord Tyrell's brother was heavily injured in the battle and was dragged to safety by an enemy commander, Mina Forrester's father, and he saved his life even though they were enemies. And due to that, Mina has been allowed to come here and be Marjorie's like handmaiden, and she's clearly not super prepared for that. She's good at being a handmaiden. Like her mother obviously taught her what this job is, but she
Southern
is
culture.
Yeah, Southern culture she's still a little ignorant about, so that's why she just doesn't talk a lot and will just like nod mostly. And she is always seems so like she's like a rabbit. She's just so nervous all the time. It is you've rarely ever seen her like relax.
I see like elements of Aaronette in this, and it's like, oh honey.
A little bit, but Mina also is like, she obviously does have her confident moments.
Yeah.
But that's only through like, it took you over a year to have her say more than 10 words to you at any point, right? Like,
it's like I don't think I've ever really been like standoffish to her or anything like that. It's like I think it's like we're maybe in the early forms of friendship kind of a thing, just like with her like getting used to things.
Yeah, and the one thing you have gotten out of her, of course, is that she has 4 brothers. Yeah, so that's it's a thing.
I now have 4 brothers too, so
yeah, you both have like a huge family, so it and
I've got 3, excuse me.
Yeah, so yeah, so she comes inside and she just goes, morning, Mariella.
Morning, Mina.
And as you're you walk down the corridor, she doesn't literally say anything else. At one point, you do pass through the one of the many gardens that are throughout Highgarden to get from place to be, and the only thing she'll say is like, "Oh, the birds are in fine form," as they like twitter and move back and forth. But that's like it. Any other nicety you say to her, she'll just like nod to. But yeah, she just just walk with she has very long strides, and she has this habit to when she went on walks with people to just fully outpace them. And she has learned to like, you can tell she's like counting her steps as she walks.
It also doesn't help that I have a shorter stride than her because
yeah, exactly. Yes, exactly right. Not only did she have a longer stride, she just walked fast because she was just like, you know, in the north, if you walk, it's to get somewhere, not to talk generally, because snow. Yeah, she's got the accent a bit, just a little bit. She's like from a more southern part of the north, so it's not thick. You know, she's not an umber or anything.
It's not super rich.
Yeah, but it's just a little bit there. So you two walk through. Constance just behind, and essentially her hand like maiden Eve just behind her. Constance and Eve have become incredibly good friends because Eve is a gossip, and Constance is like, yes,
friend.
Exactly. Though it seems like Eve also like has a lot of respect for Mina. So it's just kind of been that thing. You walk through and you enter Lady Marjorie's quarters. You do the traditional thing where you both raise a hand and knock. Not waiting for a response, of course. You just open the door. It is just, of course, a utterly massive pitch black room. So there's a lot of stuff in here, and you always have to navigate in pitch blackness. Do you feel Mariella has done a good job, like, adapting to that?
I think so. It's like she's probably taken into account, like, from having to maybe, like, on the rare occasion, kick her siblings' asses out of bed. It's like, hi, no, we have things to do. Where it's like she's able to kind of she has found like a general path that probably doesn't get changed often to get to the window to let in light.
Yes, absolutely.
That specifically, because everything else probably on the floor in the space has changed, but there is probably like one route to like kind of get to the windows,
Mhm.
even if it's slightly roundabout, where she
Absolutely.
won't fall on her face.
Excellent. So you two go forth, and you know you are the one who must call out to Marjorie, as you and Mina sort of talked about it. Mina, again, doesn't talk a lot, so yeah. So you both simultaneously just begin to open the dozens of curtains in this. I mean, just picture like a palatial room in the Palace of Versailles.
We probably start at like the far end as we get closer to the bed,
And
so then it's like
exactly.
gradual wake up.
Mhm.
Don't frighten her, not real quick.
Not too quick, exactly.
So like when it gets to like maybe like the 3/4 where maybe Mina can finish it, it's like I call out to Marjorie.
What do you say?
Lady Marjorie.
You just hear
I don't blame you, but the weather is very fine today.
Like, and the birds are in fine form. Mina just adds.
I smile at her as I turn back towards the bed.
When you smile at her, she smiles like really big, like, fuck yeah, like she just did something right. And she just goes, and all you see is like massive, utterly massive bed. This is a bed that is in the dead center of the room. It would easily be like a California king, right? And it's raised up on 3 different daises that are all like connected to one another.
Are there also like curtains for the bed? Yeah, I'm getting up there so then like I can start tying back the curtain.
Yeah, you see as there are in gold designs of growing plants and lilies that end with like birds taking off from the tops of the flowers, all labeled in gold as you just open the curtains. And inside the bed, as Mina goes the other side and opens the other one, all you see is like the big comforter and just out pillows, and then in between the comforter and the pillows, just hair, just like brown golden hair, and just no real sign of her, but you just see her hair. You just hear, and you just see the hair begin to retreat deeper into the blankets.
I do believe the sun will still find you as far as you go.
You just hear, the sun has no right.
It's a horrible thing, I know.
I will not get up today. It is all right.
I don't know. I was thinking maybe you could help me design a new piece that I was going to do. But if you are not going to get out of bed...
Interesting tactic. All right, yeah. Mariella, why don't I mean, that sounds like a persuasion to me. And why not do charm? After all, this is you just saying that she gets to do something.
Cool. Persuasion charm. +2 to that, so a total of 16.
16. Yeah. Yeah, 16. That would be what? 2 degrees of success? Yeah. Yeah, and she just goes, and you just are like, very well. But she doesn't, there's no movement.
Very gracious of you. Do you want me to start pulling out some of the options you were thinking of to wear today?
Very well. Like, if you must. Mina like looks at you and is like gonna grab like one side of the sheet, one side of the blanket.
like connect, and it's like as I'm turning to leave, it's like grab the top, so then like we could just flip it over by half.
Exactly. It just flips it over, and we just see her just curled up in this like elegant lace gown, just going like, she just forms into just a tiny ball.
As soon as it's flipped, I continue to go over like to where like the dress is
Mhm.
restored.
You go, come now, lady, you must stretch and reach the day. How else will the birds get to see your lovely face? And she's just like, my faces will be lovely regardless if the birds see it. Like, will they sing their voices? Like, they sing their little songs for you. Don't you want to give them a reward? And she just sits up and just like eyes still closed. And then she like, by the way, it's like noon.
Yeah. I've probably pulled out like 3 of the options that she was she had maybe mentioned vaguely
Yeah.
before, and to have them kind of like properly laid out to kind of like help assist her out of the bed and things
Yeah,
of
you
that
begin.
nature.
She's willing now. Mina, she raises her arms up, and Mina takes the gown off of her, and then she and then begins to like look over the dress designs, and she just immediately goes the blue one.
Yeah, so I leave the blue one out. I return the other 2, and I bring over the blue.
Yep, you begin cinching her up, doing her hair, doing everything that is necessary to get Lady Marjorie ready for her day, getting her slippers, of course, all very important. And then you bring her downstairs for breakfast. Now, of course, like any noble, breakfast is not an affair to have with family. It is a buffet because you get up whenever the hell you want to because you're a noble.
A buffet. Yes.
A buffet. So of course you go down and make sure Marjorie has been served her breakfast properly. Of course she isn't served from Faye. She has people just bring her things because she is Lady Marjorie. You of course then get your food is brought to you at your own place in a different room. And we get to sort of see this grand, beautiful dining hall with so many nobles in it that in Highgarden, these nobles are not necessarily anyone that important, for the family is dining in what it could be another part of the castle, quite honestly, as this place is truly spectacularly large. The ceilings of many rooms, Mariella, are the height of your hall room. And seemingly the only reason for that is you don't know. You have no idea why. It
They're
doesn't
just
make
pretty.
sense.
Yeah.
Yeah, they're just very pretty. Everything in Highgarden is designed to look more beautiful than the last.
I feel like it doesn't happen as much anymore, but like definitely with it the first time, it's like my father would have an aneurysm. My father would have an aneurysm, just like the defense of this place. Oh my god.
Oh yeah. No, it's true. But the sheer amount of people here definitely help. Also the surrounding towns as well. So yeah, we go through the gardens as you are dining, of course. You are brought a message from the Rooker, the one who runs the Ravenry Rook.
Cool.
Our words. And you are essentially brought a message.
I look at the wax seal and anything that might be written on the exterior of it.
It is like simply sealed, like it doesn't have a symbol on it.
Okay. Any color?
It's red.
Cool.
Like typical noble wax seals.
If the handwriting is at all familiar, I don't know if I might have received anything from this person before.
Nope, it's not familiar to you.
Okay.
As you break into open it, it is a formal invitation to I think to a wedding.
Okay.
Of Lord Henrik Weirlight and
Shella.
and Lady Ashella Ashford.
Okay.
You can tell from the handwriting, it's no one from your house. So whoever sent these invitations is probably from the Ashford house.
Cool. How far away is the date?
It's a number of months.
Okay.
But not far, you know.
Mhm.
It's the amount of time that is required for everyone to make travel preparations and settle accounts, and you know, it's an appropriate amount of time, right? You of course know this has been in negotiation for years at this point,
Yes.
but those negotiations have been finalized.
The end of that race is fast approaching.
It
awesome.
is.
I'm assuming it's me, Constance, Mina, and Eve, kind of like
Yes.
cool.
Yeah. You're basically all sat at a four-sided table, like things like French like 17th century, those like the tiny tables they
Okay,
got into
yeah.
popularity.
Got it.
With the insane legs. Like you're all sat at one of those in this large dining hall, and it's just so different. Like here, just the styles.
Yeah. I think there's just like a slight twinge and a smile of like, okay, all right, it's happening, and I probably hand it over to Constance to see the letter.
Yeah, Constance will look at it and go, oh wow, that's happening now, isn't it?
Indeed.
Makes it a bit more real, doesn't it?
Yes.
Eve is like, what? And she just like scarfs out. Eve, out of all of them, has like the least like what
Table
you've
manners?
seen is like table manners. She eats like a small folk does. Just scarfing and just trying to get food in before it's not there anymore.
Good for her.
And she's always like she always has like a full bib in like the men and lords have. Like
Okay.
and she's like, why was it? And he goes, Constance like looks at you.
My brother's wedding.
That's right. You have a twin, don't you?
Indeed.
Yes, I know that. I knew that, right, Mina? Eve, I don't know at all what you know. And Eve is like, well, I mean, that could be true. And she like fluffs her hair. And he goes, well, I would offer congratulations, but I sense hesitancy. We haven't talked much about this.
No. It's a fairly unique situation in and of itself.
I'm guessing this is fully arranged. She nods. Like, I see. Who is he marrying?
How familiar are you with House Ashford?
Eve immediately goes and just starts like coughing and like pounding her chest and like coughs like a bit of like sausage out of her mouth.
I think I hand like an extra like napkin or something across the table.
Yeah. She takes it and wipes it off and goes, wait, like Ashella. She just gestures to the much longer and larger table behind
Eve,
where
you might want to put your hand down.
What? Oh, she just like puts it down. Like, whoa, interesting. I mean, I guess your two families, that makes sense, I guess. Mina's like, are the Ashfords? And she's just like,
they're very influential.
Oh, okay. Right. All right. Because I know Ashella, she's Lady Illyri's handmaiden.
Mm-hmm.
We haven't spoken, but I'm aware of her. And she looks over and you hear like some laughter, and you see Ashella, though in a completely new scenario, has already made her own new clique of young noble ladies. And
Is she
I
still
think,
super standoffish with me?
no, not particularly, but she is much more informal, I think, with you. But she doesn't talk to you really about anything. Like, she'll make jokes with you, she'll talk to you, she'll talk about what's going on at the castle. But any sort of mention about anything that isn't about Highgarden, she
Gets
generally
avoided.
she gets avoided. Yeah.
Mhm.
And she makes that like she isn't passive about that knowledge. She's like pretty like no about like no, we're not talking about that. However, I will talk about how Lady May they had a visitor in the jewel.
So she
pool
gives
the
me
other day.
some of the gossip kind of.
Yeah, for
Right.
sure. No, she seems to consider you like a person she interacts with, and she definitely still has her biting wit, like 100%.
Is it still slightly softened because of like from King's Landing kind of a thing?
There is a distinct feel that she is different from King's Landing.
That's
Yes.
okay. That's what I figured. I figured things changed because of what happened at Theoden. Got it.
Yeah, you do feel that that hasn't gone away. She seems to have attempted some kind of return to norm, but there is still
a wall. Got it.
She's not nearly as cruel as she was. Still just as witty and biting and insulting, but just there's a different edge to it.
Yep.
But yeah, but you right? And she goes, well, so I guess you'll be going then to the wedding?
I believe I am, but I would probably have to put it towards the kind of like looking towards like the door where the family generally eats. It's like we'll probably ask for permission.
Right, yeah, that would be that probably would be important to get their permission. Do you think it'll be a problem?
I don't imagine there would be, but it's safer to ask rather than assume.
Mina nods, goes, no, that's true. Like, she's just suddenly like, it just seems like she's taking this really seriously. Like, Mina is kind of an overly serious person. Like, anytime it's like, what do we, if you're like, when you're in town, you're like, what treats do we want to get from town? She goes, well, and she just takes like any question really seriously and like puts a lot of time and attention towards it. She's intelligent, but very, her
Methodical.
priorities are, yeah, she's very methodical. And you can tell Mina is like, you would probably assume to be a very kind person. And
how
probably
old is
not,
she? Is she like 18 like me, or is she?
She would probably be about. I think she's gonna turn 18 this year.
Okay.
She's like currently 17.
Cool.
But yeah, like, so she's just like a few months behind you essentially, in age. But she's not a twin. She does, however, mention there are twins in her family. Her younger sister and brother are twins. She goes, but they don't look anything alike. They just were born at the same time.
Lucky them.
And then that makes and then of course Eve is like, wait, so is your brother like your identical brother?
Let's put it this way. Until roughly my 7th year, it took close inspection to see who was Henrik and who was Mariella.
Like, Eve just laughs and like snorts a bit. Like, she seems to have found that really funny. Oh, that's good, Mariella. Oh, so he's pretty then.
I have been informed that yes, he does fall under that category.
Ooh, all right. So
he has actually visited here on the rare occasion and has
Oh, did he?
Yes.
Well, I hear people visit here all the time, but I don't see them. It's hard to see anything. I can't even see out the bloody window sometimes. They're so high.
Well,
I like her.
they do serve the function of letting the light.
I guess. And she's just like shrugs and just goes back to eating, cracking like some egg over her toast and just like.
Mm-hmm.
And she goes, "Oh, what does that mean? You think? That means? Do you think old Ash is she going then? Right? Because she'd be married."
I believe that is possible.
Ooh, like, hear that, Mina? There's some room for upward mobility, eh? And she just mings, and Mina's like, no, and just like, just
It's
goes
not
back
like
to
a
eating.
job.
Yeah. She's just like, no, I was told to serve Lady Marjorie, and that's what I'll do, you know, because my family it needs me to do this, and then she just starts like, you see, slowly beginning to like hyperventilate.
I think I put a hand on top of hers, and it's
Mhm.
like, they'll probably bring in another girl.
Yeah, right. Yeah, no, of course, yes. And she just like nods, and Constance's like, oh, girl. You know, my mother had a dog, and my dog. You remind me a lot of that dog. You're beautiful, Mina, but you just shake. And Mina's like, I don't mean to. And now looks like really concerned. And Constance's like, oh God, love, no, it's all right. Like, just. And they and we sort of move away from the breakfast table. Just for a moment, down the castle slopes, outside of Highgarden, and we see riding along a roadway a group of horsemen, specifically knights, in full armor, and in one of the columns, yes, very much so. And in one of the columns, we see astride Dread of Night in Barding, we see Nymora, Sir Nymora. We see them ride through the roads into town, all stopping in front of the Swan's Pond. Everyone immediately dismounting their horses. Sir Beesbury immediately goes and locks your neck into like a, you know, a temporary arm lock. A headlock. Yes. Wrestling and go inside and releases you as you are all just celebrating. You have all just successfully taken down a like essentially a smuggling shipment that you were told to deal with, and you just killed and then arrested several smugglers. So y'all are celebrating I think a well fought. Some of them, everyone's sometimes a little bruised. You're sweaty. You just had like a full like fight against much more significant force. But seeing as you're all like seasoned knights, they didn't really stand much of a chance.
Oh, alas.
Oh.
Uh-oh.
Uh-oh. God damn
oh
it.
no.
I hate you, the internet, so much. 1 second.
Serena is the storyteller now. Serena. Oh shit, no.
She who rules us all.
Shit,
I
everybody.
missed my chance.
Bow down before her.
You know how you were talking about season power earlier. Missed your chance.
Yep. Sorry about that. I don't know what the heck happened.
Roll 20. Internet, who knows?
Roll 20. So you enter the bar. One of the knights calls over a round of like another round of a round of ale, and you all sit down at the table and begin kind of cheering on. Nymora,
Yes.
you are the one who dealt the winning blow to the leader of the smugglers. What was the leader of the smugglers' name? And tell me how you beat him.
The leader of the smugglers' name was Jacoby.
Jacoby.
Mhm.
Okay.
And I think that the way that I beat him is because the number there was a greater number of people that we were fighting and we were a smaller force. And I am so much faster than a man in full plate mail. That he literally didn't like.
Yeah. Well, these men were just wearing clothes. I'll just tell you, they don't.
Yeah.
They're not in plate mail, but yeah.
Okay, but
only lords are in plate mail, right?
Yeah, but but just because there was so much more of them versus so much more of us, it was easier to bypass all of the others while they were dealing with the other with the rest of the knights, and to just shank him in the kidney real hard.
Shank him in the kidney real hard. Excellent.
Yeah, while he was dealing with someone else in front of him.
Fantastic. Well, very nice. We love it. We love to see it. So you are currently celebrating with your fellow knights that you've sort of gotten to know over the years. There is, of course, my brain, Sir Beesbury, who's kind of become your dude. Do you remember what his first name is?
Oh Christ. So I'll be real honest, is that I don't remember very much from the past 3 weeks. So
that's fair.
So I don't.
You don't?
I'm sorry.
You sure?
Yeah, I'm sorry.
That is okay. You're okay. It's Raymond.
Okay.
Yeah, so Sir Raymond Beesbury is your buddy, and there are 3 other knights here with you who are knights of the realm, who are currently sort of stationed here at Highgarden, sort of alongside you. They are all, of course, Reachmen. There is, of course, Sir Joshua Woodwright. I'm going to quiz you on these later.
I've already had a pop quiz that I wasn't expecting.
Yep. So this is why you guys study. Yeah. So yep. Sir Joshua Woodwright. Sir Eustace Weber. And then, of course, Sir Elias Varner. You may, of course, if you want to only address them by their surnames, that's okay. That's okay. pretty normal. So yeah, Woodwright, Weber, and Varner, and then of course Beesbury.
Okay.
All right. Yeah, so Varner, who's definitely the biggest out of all of you. He's a fucking bear of a goddamn man. He usually wields a fucking morning star and just beats people's fucking faces in. And sometimes Varner's like, there were so bloody fucking many of them. I lost my bloody weapon in one of their fucking faces, and I just had to start bashing their heads in with my bare fucking hands, which happens all the time, Memora. That happens so often that he just loses his weapon a lot, because he swings. He doesn't have a lot of technique to his fighting. He's just a big dude. And Weber kind of chuckles and goes, "Well, you're lucky you're so strong, Varna, because if any chance of skill, I think you would lose quite quickly." And goes, "What's that, Weber? You want to fucking go?" And Weber goes, "No, I'm quite all right." Weber is definitely a guy kind of more similar to your build, Memora. He's kind of shorter than the rest of them. He generally fights with a sword. Sometimes he'll have like a long sword. Sometimes he'll have like a riposting weapon in the other times. Sometimes he just uses short weapons. And Raymond looks at you, Sir Beesbury, and goes, so what reward do you think Lord Tyrell's going to give us for knocking down the smuggling ring?
I take first crack at his cellars, if you know it.
And they
Right.
definitely, yeah, like Weber goes, I see, Flowers is thinking correctly here. What I wouldn't give to try a 300-year-old bottle of wine. And Varna goes, please. Like, who cares about that shit? Like, just give me a toff of ale and I'm good. Like, you like, well, it's so nice to know that, Varna, that when looking for a wife, I'll know to just get you a local goat and you'll be happy. And everyone else just laughs, including Varner.
I mean, if we're going to get him a wife that drinks as much as he does, we might as well just get him a fish, yeah?
They laugh and they pound the table a little bit at that for sure. All right. So Woodwright kind of spreads out. He goes, so do you think that's it? I mean, you know, the last bit of smugglers. We've been chasing after these guys for a while, and you know, I didn't think this is what night work would be, you know.
I mean, it's not that much different from when I was a mercenary, you know. So I don't think it's the last. I think that they're smugglers. It's like smugglers, bandits, robbers. It's all like weeds. It's always another one, and another one, and another one.
Weeds, huh? Well, not well, I wasn't. I suppose privileged enough to be born to have to work from my living. Weber goes, oh, do you hear that, everyone? Woodwright is complaining about not having to work for his meal, and everyone kind of chuckles a bit. Well, listen, man. All I'm saying is, I thought being positioned as a knight of the realm in Highgarden mainly meant, well, not pulling weeds, but gazing at the flowers, if you know what I mean.
Going and saving ladies and waiting.
I wouldn't. Saving, sure, from boredom was the predominant enemy I was hoping to combat them against.
No, everything that I've done since I've become a knight has been hard and dirty and not at all courtly or virtuous. It's not much different.
Yeah, but what about the knights up there? Like, you know, like Veerwell. Veerwell doesn't get off his fucking ass for anything, and he's the bloody captain of the guards. I suppose if nothing threatens the castle directly, they don't have to do anything. Why couldn't we get a job there? I mean, Flowers. I mean, you're here because of your girl, right? She works up in the castle.
She's Lady Marjorie's her lady in waiting.
So what the hell are you doing down here with us? And Varnage goes, well, it's because she's a fucking bastard, right? I mean, it's all politics up there. I don't want to get fucking involved with it. And Weber goes, oh my god, I think everyone, Varna just said something actually that made sense. I think there's something wrong with the ale, and he pushes it away from himself.
No, I think it might actually be the ale. I think we should give him more.
Oh no, Varna with an intellect. I shudder the thought.
Everybody, quick, start pouring ale into him, and maybe we'll figure out how we can become captains of the guard, yeah?
I like this joke, and I'm fully ready to commit to this bit. And Varna just opens his mouth, and then you see Raymond go up and just pour it on his face.
Mm-hmm. I join in. I just pour some on his head as well.
Yep. Yep. They laugh, and they joke and they jest. He goes, so, though, speaking of flowers, Woodwright brings up again, the horniest member of the group. Is there anyone? Is there anyone you've lot spotted oh yes, Woodwright, and I'll just immediately tell you of all people. I think I'd rather to keep anyone I'm pursued with, well, somewhat clean. And he goes, what are you implying? Oh, you want me to say it out loud? I assumed you wished me to spare you the indignity. And he just goes, one of these days, I think, Weber, you're gonna say something to the wrong fucking person. I have. Why do you think I'm here? And he goes, I could be doing so much better. I mean, I'm a second other son after all. He goes, yeah, why are you a fucking knight? Why aren't you a maester or some shit? You're always talking like you know shit.
As we all turn as one to look at Weber.
Yeah, and he goes, well, that's very easy, gents. The reason I'm a knight instead of a maester is because I still believe my cock has some good years in it. And they not a lot, as the maesters are a celibate order.
Mm-hmm.
Not that I'm essentially looking for a wife, but that is a good question. And they all turn to look at you, Naimora.
I just shake my head and just like, come on, gents. You know that a lady doesn't kiss and tell.
Right, but that's why we're asking you.
What? No, nothing recently, no.
Well, I mean, you have been visiting the bordello a bit.
On a bit, but it's not like not in any serious capacity.
Oh. I think you have to be careful. I think you don't want to end up with a knight's wife. And they all just kind of nod.
No knight, no wives for me, no husbands. Okay,
Goes,
anything that's here is going to get left here when my lady Mariella leaves. So
they all know. He goes, no, a knight's wife. Do you not know what a knight's wife is? First few years, a new knight is, landed out and about serving their lord. Sometimes, away from their lands, they get lonely, and they take, well, perhaps one of the, women who give favors for exchanges, a prostitute, if you will, and they fall in love with them, and then they marry them, and then realize that, the love was only there because of money, and thus a knight's wife.
Fuck no. I don't reckon there's anybody who's going to fall in love with me for money or no.
Well, it's not going to be because of your face, that's for sure.
Fuck! You punch him in the arm.
Yeah, he just goes, oh.
So this is the nicest face that you're going to be seeing for a while.
I think Weber goes, I don't know. That the Drury's pig is looking quite exceptional this year. And I think Barnard just fucking punches Weber, and Weber falls out of his chair completely. But everyone's laughing, and Weber just laughs and adjusts his helmet.
Degenerates into a friendly fist fight.
A
little bit.
Just a tad. Yeah, Raymond then goes so have you been adjusting? You're the newest one here.
I mean, it's different. It's real different. For one thing, I don't know anybody up there half as well as I know anybody down here. But I mean, what I was hired for was to protect Lady Mariella and her brother, so I knew them quite well. And now I feel like it's always funny watching someone grow up. And also everybody up there's a bunch of cunts, and so
yeah, they all generally not.
Yeah, that's a lot different than from it.
Yeah. Raymond goes, I mean, that Garland's all right, though. I mean, Lord Garland, he used to be kind of a weird kid, but he's the fucking man now.
Yeah. Everybody nods sagely and just like, yeah, he's one of the only ones who, I feel like he doesn't feel badly if I beat him. when I do, man's got fucking amazing for the past year and a half.
Oh yeah, no, like Raymond goes, "Oh, don't I know it?" And he just like rolls his arm from the time both you and Raymond fought Garland, and he dislocated Raymond's arm.
Okay. Oh, excellent.
Mhm.
Yeah. So
Yeah, he goes, "Yeah, that boy. I don't think I've ever seen him train with less than 2 men. He's got something to prove. That's for fucking sure."
feels like he's fighting for something, and I don't know if it's good or a bad thing.
Well, it's his brother, isn't it? Says Weber, and they all kind of turn. He goes, because his brother and his first showing became a cripple. And, well, the heir to High Garden can't be a fucking cripple. And he just takes a drink. And they all kind of like, It's like, any of you ever actually seen Willis? And Raymond shakes his head, and they all just kind of shake their head.
Willis?
What was that, Nora?
Have I ever seen Willis?
No.
Hmm.
Like, do you think he's actually there?
I don't think he exists.
Like, they're like, oh, there's a conspiracy. Oh, I love this. All right. What is it? No more lay it on us.
No, it's just I've never seen him. So I don't know if he got him locked up in a tower or if he's just a fucking ghost. But I mean, that's no way to live life, isn't it? Even if you are a cripple. Just be locked up in a fucking posh tower all your life.
I mean, I couldn't do it. Neither could I. Me either. I wouldn't mind it, said Weber. Like, long as people visited me.
If
But-
I lost my leg or something like that, then I'd just have him strap me to my horse and I'd just ride out into the sea. Never to be seen again.
You just kill your fucking horse.
We both go down together. Huh?
And then
Sounds
Weber goes,
supposed to be
"Oh,
for a
I
night."
mean, I don't know if she could kill her fucking horse. That thing looks at me weird." Yeah, what is wrong with your horse?
That's just dread. There's nothing wrong with him. He's a sweet boy.
they all look at each other and goes, "No, your horse, Imora, not I don't know who you your horse."
Oh, I don't know. He's always been a little bit weird. I want him off attorney.
Yeah, you said as much.
Hmm. But the man I want him off is also a bit odd.
Yeah, the northerner, right?
Yeah, so my lord Silas Frostmore.
Fucking northerners. Superstitious lot.
Interesting man.
I hear they worship twigs.
I think it's bigger than twigs, right? It's got to be at least a bush, right?
Right, but I mean, twigs come from bushes, right? So therefore, I mean, if you've got a god and there's a children of a god, you worship it. So therefore, they worship twigs. That's just my late reasoning.
I guess that tracks. I don't know too much about the Northern faith. I know some of the old gods and the new, that sort of thing, but
Yes, well, any religion that makes you fuck outside in front of a tree in the freezing cold, I think I'm quite all right not praying to.
But yeah, I don't know what's wrong with it. I don't know what's up with Dread. It's just that way.
Mm-hmm.
But he's a good horse, so I don't mind.
Yeah. The door opens and running in is Alyssa.
Mhm.
And she's like, Sunamora, there you have a message for you.
Message for me. All right. Let's see
They-
here then.
Oh, they wouldn't give it to me.
Right. Excuse me, gents. I apparently have a missive.
They go, ooh, they think, ooh, we've received mail. I think, have we? Very important. Like, but like, are you all coming back, right? We're supposed to get shit-faced.
Yeah, I'm coming back, don't worry. Start getting shit-faced without me, I'll catch up soon enough.
like already there. Yeah, so you leave.
Says
Mhm.
Varner, who is covered in ale and
Yes.
pounding yet more.
Yeah, so you get on Dread of Night. Alyssa gets on with you, and you ride
Mhm.
up to the castle. I think Alyssa's like, so it went well?
It went about as well as anything could go. We didn't lose anybody, so
And they're like, right, but you gutted them and stopped the shipment, yeah?
yeah, we did.
Hmm.
I told them the same thing, but it's just that it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter how many we kill. There's always going to be more and more and
No,
more.
but I'm telling you, Nomura, it's not a bunch of different groups. It's one group. I'm telling you, it's one group. I don't have any proof of that, but it's got to be the one group because they keep using the same roads and shit.
They're not very smart then if they keep using the same roads and shit, huh?
Right, but we can only police so many of them, and there's a ton we found. So, like, what if it's like dummy shipments and stuff? I mean,
I don't.
people are so lax here, but only recently have they been kind of trying to get on everyone.
Ali, I don't want to be fighting smart smugglers. It's too much work.
Like, well, whether you want to or not, it might be what we're dealing with.
I
Now,
know.
if you want to maybe send me out into the depths of night instead of being in the castle, watching over Mariella and doing all that stuff, that's so fucking boring all day. I would be happy to. I would take that sacrifice.
It's not entirely up to me.
Right, okay, sure, but like it could be.
I worry for your safety as much as I worry for Mariella's. You don't have a knife shoved into your cheek, into the hollow of your cheek anymore, Ali.
Like,
I mean,
like,
you could, but I don't know.
I'm just so bored because it's so easy to spy on people here because they're so fat and they're so lazy and they have everything they fucking want. I hate them so much, Namora. I hate them so much. You have no idea. The fucking coal boys are fat. The coal boys are fat, Namora.
That's because they keep eating the coal.
You're stupid. But she does laugh genuinely like that. She goes, "You're stupid. You're fucking stupid."
Listen, I will talk with Lady Mariana about potentially sending you out on a short.
Oh, come on.
excursion.
Lady Mariella isn't the one actually in charge of our operation.
Yes, I know, because she's going to send word to her lady mother, and she's going. I know. You're Vivian's creature now.
Like, I mean, yeah, because Lady Vivian is the greatest and smartest woman probably in the world.
You're not wrong.
I have not seen any proof otherwise, so.
But I don't think that Lady Vivian is going to approve you going out. You see where I'm?
Yes, I see where you're fucking going.
Yeah.
I just wanted.
It's either you get in trouble,
someone.
you get in trouble, or I get in trouble. It's one or the other. I would
Well,
prefer.
You've gotten the trouble the most. I just want to stab someone. It's when I feel my most useful. There's there's walkways and there's holes in all of the fucking like upper parts of rooms. Did you know that there's like secret attics?
No,
it's so easy to get around. It's so easy.
You should show them to me sometime.
Oh, you
Might
can't.
be useful to know.
I'm too fat.
Excuse me.
Or whatever,
This is-
muscular, and she just grabs
muscle.
your shoulder. She grabs your
This
shoulder.
is muscle. Yeah.
Whatever, same thing.
I'm gonna throw you off this horse. You see.
Like,
But you're so little, you would probably just roll.
like you little. Yeah. So
Listen, I will write to Lady Vivian. I will ask her about the possibility.
Listen, or Naimora, or we
Mhm.
could just get more information, and then we could just tell Lady Vivian that we got that information, and we don't have to. I mean, she doesn't care how we're getting it. She made that very clear to us that she doesn't care how we get it. She was poisoned.
There's a ghost image of Vivian up in the corner, just. And I just sigh just really deeply.
Oh my! I can't believe you of all people are such a stickler for rules.
Fuck you. Fuck you. I'm going to find you some armor that's going to fit you. I'm going to find you some leathers that'll fit you. Fine. You're not going out into the dead of night completely unprotected. All right?
Cool. Good. Yes. All
And
right.
I have to do something with all of this fucking money. I can't get rid of it.
I think. Yeah. I mean, I've been taking a lot of it. Is that right?
There's so much of it. I don't know. I haven't noticed.
How do you think
so,
I have a
like,
different dress every day?
I've already sent enough to my mother for her to live comfortably for the rest of her life. So
Yeah, no, yeah. I remember when you got that letter from your mum a few months ago. That was real nice over her new house and stuff. Yeah. No, I bought a dress for every day of the year.
If anything, described her as a creature of Vivienne.
Where are they? Where are they, Allie? Where have you hidden them?
They're in my room. And in some of the secret places as well.
Yeah.
Because those
They're
bitches,
fucking-
because those other fucking bitches are trying, the scullery girls are trying to steal my dresses. I know it.
Well, you should hide them better then.
Yeah, or I could stab them.
No.
I know. All right, I know.
There's no stabbing without without probable cause.
Just saying they'd learn faster.
All right, missive.
Yep. You go to the tower. You get the missive handed to you. You open it and read it, and it is in fact a invitation for the wedding of Lord Henrik Weirlight and Lady Ashilla Ashford.
I read down through it, and I get to the bottom, and my face just kind of like.
You feel like your Ali's face on your shoulder, and you're just like, oh, they finally did the deal.
Yeah, I think all of us who were hoping that it was some sort of fever dream are going to have our hopes dashed fairly quickly.
I don't know why. I think why it's such a big deal. I mean, like Ashella's like, she's super pretty, and like Henrik is really into blonde girls. I mean, and when he was passed out, right, it's all he would talk about. He was just like, blonde hair, honey.
It is just one of those things that.
One time when he was asleep, he did say something about blonde hair, and then he said something about Walton and a tree.
I just kind of like looked sideways at her. Like,
I thought that was weird.
Probably best not to question it too much. Who knows what nobles think? Like,
that's bloody true.
No, it's just one of those things where it's. I was sort of hoping that he would be able to choose for himself, but it happened very quickly, and I still don't know.
Boo fuckity who. Like, the boy born with everything doesn't get to choose his wife. Who fucking cares?
I know. Call me a romantic at heart.
Yeah, shit. Listen, I believe in romance, but I believe in romance for people who got to choose nothing in their life but that. People like us. Right?
I feel like I should bring up the first person that you told me that you felt a romantic interest in, but I'm not going to.
Feel free. I have no shame about that. Man, I think he's a fucking man, a real fucking man with a big ass cock. And he's got a huge kill list longer than his cock, which is saying something. And I definitely regret never actually doing anything with him. But I'll still stand by that. He's the best.
You know what? Fair enough. Chase your dreams.
I will.
No, it's. I guess it doesn't matter. You're right. It's.
He's still gonna have a powerful wife. They're gonna have beautiful little fucking babies, and he's gonna rule over a great land and be richer than fucking God. He's gonna be fine.
That's a good match. You're right. Good trade routes. Powerful family.
Yeah, sure. I'm gonna pretend to know what any of that fucking means, but
You know what the trade
all I
route
know is
is.
if you think, oh no, Henrik will be sad. I'm like, how the fuck? He look at the size of his bloody house, and the size, and he's gonna have little babies, and he's gonna, fucking be richer than anything I've ever seen. Like, he's gonna be fine. He's gonna find ways to entertain himself.
Yeah. You're probably right.
He'll probably just go to every tournament there ever was, right?
All the same, a wedding. I've never been to a proper wedding before. Like, other than
I mean, neither have I.
Yeah. I mean, like, other than I was at the proper wedding, but I wasn't actually involved in the wedding, I was mostly just there kind of standing. But I imagine that I'm probably going to have to dress up and, like, socialize.
Like, oh, boo fuckity hoo.
I slap her on the back of the head.
Like, ow, fuck! She just immediately starts punching you in the kidneys.
It is like being punched by a tiny rabbit. Her and her 2 strength.
Pretty much. Just kind of wrestle with her a bit. We will move away from High Garden. And we will rush across the landscape, and we see a shot, an exterior shot of Theolden Hall. And then we have another exterior shot of a tall tower, a tower we recognize, we know as the Maester's Tower. And we go inside and we see Thorsten, Maester of House Weirlight. Thorsten, what the fuck are you doing?
Trying to find out how to turn into a snake.
This man said it's possible, so it must
I
be.
literally love that answer. Absolutely.
That tracks. That tracks. Yeah.
Yep. Give me a research roll, Thorsten.
You get a research roll, huh?
Mm-hmm.
If you remove your limbs.
How to become a literal snake, or how
Theoretically.
to become a figurative snake.
A figure.
Plus 4.
Tell the man how he turns into a snake, Tony.
I think the DM died.
Reveal the mystical secrets.
Does this have to do with magic, by the way?
Yes, it does.
That's the wrong roll then, because I have a knowledge-focused magic.
Oh, do you? Well, this is specifically research about gaining that knowledge, and then we'll make that roll.
Okay.
Deeper.
It'll still
Tell
be
the man how.
gross.
Yeah,
Tell
34.
the man how to become a furry. Come on.
Tony's dreading how he's gonna have to say, like, you become a snake. That's just you're a snake now.
Yeah.
What do you want me to say, man?
So Thorsten,
It just turns into a snake.
Thorsten, so
in
you've
front of
been
everybody.
researching, talking with this man, in the prison tower, which you now know his name is Des, D-E-S, Des, like Des, is his name, and he's been trying to describe to you the drug. You have spent a long time researching it. You heard from Nymora the names of these guys, and Thorsten, after a lot of research, and expounding and putting a lot of effort and resources into this, sitting in front of you is wrapped up in a little paper thing, is supposedly the drug that turns Des into a snake.
My fucking god.
Now, you have in front of you the entire ritual of the mouth of Nehed on how to do it. However, I will definitely say you probably haven't enacted any ounce of it because it requires severe maiming of your own body.
Yeah.
You have to tattoo your tongue, your mouth, and all your lips and everything around your mouth, like Dez has. He's fully tattooed. There are inscriptions on his teeth, which you would have to do. There is also a very weird part that involves completely like dehydrating yourself and coming an inch from death from dying in the desert, but then not dying. There has to be like this coming to the edge of death through lack of water and then coming back, essentially. So you have all of that in front of you, and then there's this drug. It's this small cube of black tar-like substance. It smells not great. And it is supposedly smoked in a pipe. And once enough of it is smoked, whoever has gone through this ritual apparently will turn into a snake.
So I take it this Des guy is jonesing.
Oh God, yeah. Now you have seen sort of like what you would see as what known as drug demon, a drug possession, like drug demons, essentially, which we would know as like withdrawal symptoms. And he is still 2 years later, still experiencing them on occasion.
Yikes.
This is a
yikes.
deep-seated addiction in his body.
Now,
This is akin to, he must have had this his entire life, pretty regularly.
It makes sense. My next question is this one considered one dose or multiple doses?
This would be multiple doses.
Okay, then.
Because of your 34.
Okay.
And your specialty magic.
So
I mean, if you want to do that ritual to yourself, you can. It sounds awful.
Yeah, I think in the pursuit of knowledge, if it required to say only the tattoos, that would probably be one thing. But where it brings you to literally the brink of death,
yeah,
that's kind of like the tipping point for Thorsten. So
mm-hmm.
He has a willing prisoner.
You do have a willing test subject in your tower.
Yeah.
Do you want to go do that experiment, Thorsten?
I do. I would like to let Lady Vivian know as well as the guards.
Okay.
To back me in case there is any merit to him.
Okay, I want to see that. Thorsten, I want you to go downstairs and I want to see you interrupt Vivian doing what she's doing, and I want to hear you say that. Mm-hmm. Just because the thing's over. So you enter one of the parlors in Theolden Hall. We see Vivian and several other people all around the table speaking with Mr. Wormwood about the party. Mm-hmm. He goes, all right, so obviously floral, right? Like obviously, like we don't even need to talk about that. We barely need to even hint about that. You have the color swabs, right, Barris? And goes, yes, of course, I have them right here. Like, yes, good. I'm sorry, Barris. Why is there an emerald among these colors? Are you trying to cause treason? I think treason. He goes, no, I didn't know, and he just slaps him. Like, how could you reorganize it? Anyway, and then Thorsten, you come in on that scene.
It's so hard to find help that sees the same vision you do.
It's true. It's so nice to find another survivor in this island. The island is the sea. Of ill intent.
Indeed. Thank goodness you're here.
I wait for a brief moment
there is a lull for a moment.
A lull, and I walk up to Lady Vivian and I ask a moment of her time.
Now?
Yes, if you wouldn't mind.
Is it the wedding of the century is happening? Is it indeed that important, Thorsten?
yes, it involves our guest.
Fine. Yes.
Mm-hmm.
And so I'll just pull her away. She's still in the same room, just to pull her away so I tell her I basically have gotten the drug that turns him into a snake and would like permission to test it out on him.
Now, storyteller, being originally born in the Westerlands,
Yeah.
this whole thing is just
Ridiculous.
ridiculous.
Oh, it sounds ridiculous to Thorsten
Understood.
as well.
Okay. I'm just like,
You're essentially, your maester is asking if it's okay, like he wants to experiment, just like get this guy high. Which is like,
I mean, Thorsten, you are an educated man, so I would assume that things of this nature you can take upon yourself to just go ahead and do. Yes?
Yes, it's regarding the guest we have. I wanted to go through the proper channels.
I understand. Well, if he turns into a snake, please tell me, for that will be an interesting thing to incorporate into, the festivities that should still be here. I think a lot of people are very fascinated to see, if the performers, let's say, dive into a pool and then they turn into snakes, that would be fantastic.
Yeah.
So let me know if it works.
Of
by
course,
all
of course, my
means.
Thank you for your time. And I
hmm
turn back around and I'm going to start heading down there grab a couple of guards with me. I will actually be right back. I need to go turn the heater off because my mother turned it on and it's freaking hot as hell.
okay, no problem. So Thorsten will.
Please tell me this drug is prohibitively expensive to procure.
Oh no, I'm definitely like all of Maester Thorsten's budget, like most of it was spent on getting it.
hmm
Like he can obviously ask the house for more and do more thing, but like he spent a significant portion of his own pay like on procuring this.
Oh yeah,
Mhm.
it's over 2 years.
Yeah. Finding the proper channels, getting it out of the cult, like it's a thing, right?
Mhm.
But you have the resources to do it, especially if I'm guessing you involved Orton in it.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, Orton has connections and stuff, so yeah, one day he basically just like, okay, well here you go. Like it
Just handed him money.
yep.
Was I told what the drug was called?
Yes, it is. I think. Let's see. It is known as. Yeah. Nehed's word.
Oh, this is some cult nonsense.
You're. Yeah. Snake venom is an ingredient in this drug. So. Hallucinatory effects. Your main thought of this guy thinking he's a snake from what I pretty sure is in this drug makes a ton of sense.
Yeah, it's one of those things where it's knowledge.
Yes. Yeah. So you go into the cells.
I don't bring the whole thing with me.
Sure.
I'm bringing a very small dose.
A dose. Okay.
He's going to be chained back up to the wall to
Sure.
hallucinogen.
No
crazy
problem.
strength.
Yep. Nope. No problem. He's chained up at the wall. The guards are in the room. Yeah. You come in. He looks at you. You said a small dose.
I'm going to give him half of what would be considered a normal dose, just to see,
Okay.
and then progress.
All right. Cool. So do you show him that?
Yes.
Yeah. His eyes go really wide and goes, "Just go. Please, just give it to him." And he just starts speaking in Dornish. And then he looks at it, he goes, "Thank you." Yeah. So you put it in the pipe and you light it.
Yep.
And hand put the mouth thing. Yeah. So half a normal dose. He'll smoke it. He smokes really, really deep of it, and then like blows out a massive plume
I immediately step away as I know
Yeah.
he's going to do that, and I know it's probably going to smell horrid.
Oh yeah, it smells really bad in here immediately. And yeah, you just see him keep taking puffs. You see his pupils get wide, and you see his whole body begin to like shiver a little bit. And he just begins to smile. But that is all that happened with a half dose.
Okay. I will prepare the other half, just as I wanted to see, like, if stages.
Just the other half, not a full dose is on top.
Yeah, I'll give him a full dose, actually.
Okay. Put in a full dose. Put it in. He sees that it's a full dose, and he just takes in a really, really deep breath and blows it out, and it just this thick white smoke begins to sort of go everywhere. And you hear like another toke, but at this point you can barely see him. This white smoke is like thick and now just hanging in this room, and it's not really dispersing. You said you kind of stepped away, so you're not like
I get lower to the ground because I know smoke rises.
Yeah, this smoke, however, doesn't seem to be rising. It seems to be slowly filling the area like a fog would, and and the person holding the pipe is going like. Just kind of beginning to cough.
Yeah.
What is happening?
You hear like another really intense drag. And then as like more smoke gets like blown out. You can't really see anything. But you just hear some coughing, and you see the guy who was holding the pipe just like comes out and just like sorry. Sorry, missed it. Couldn't really stand it in there.
You're okay.
But then, Thorsten, you hear a very distinct of what sound like metal chains hitting the stone wall.
Oh shit. I'm gonna immediately say, let's give me a second. Let me think of the right way to word this without me sounding crazy. He somehow got loose. Let's get him. As I'm not going to open up the door because that'll easy for him to get out, and I'm just gonna kind of start stomping.
Start stomping. Okay, cool. Why don't you make a fighting test?
Thorsten's first fighting test.
We knew this day was coming. We knew it had to happen. Guys.
Are you ready?
Tony baited that hook so well.
Okay.
One.
How many do you get?
I get one die.
One dice. Yep. No, you don't. You just begin stomping. Don't seem to be hitting anything. Guys are in the smoke, and they're you hear some wrestling and stuff. And if you're not opening the door, right?
No, I haven't opened the door yet, and I'm not going to for
absolutely
a little bit of time. Last thing I need is this. If he did turn into a snake, last thing I needed is to escape.
Yeah. The wrestling and stuff, some people, and as the dust and the smoke does eventually begin to clear, you see some of the guards are just sort of like realizing they're kind of just grabbing at each other because there's
I figured that.
There's no one in the cell.
Do I see a snake anywhere?
Do you want to look for a snake?
I do want to look for a snake.
All right. This will be a
roll snake perception.
Yeah, this is be awareness notice.
Awareness notice. Okay, so just straight awareness for me. You ready?
Snake perception, or
you look left, right. You're looking around. You're not seeing a snake.
Was that because with lucky I get to know if that is that a failure or a success?
Oh, I'm sorry, that is a failure.
Then I'm going to re-roll lucky.
All right. 14. Yes, Thorsten, you do see a snake.
Oh my god.
Jesus
Holy
fucking Christ! Oh my god!
It is
We have
current.
a pet snake.
It is currently most of the way out of the tower window through
I grab
the
it.
bars that is at the top of the room.
I just immediately grab it.
You want to try and grab it? Great. That's a fighting check.
Oh
Great.
no.
This is where I'm gonna roll a 1.
You got this.
No.
Oh,
2.
shout out
No,
to
you
Chris.
just like.
I say, as I'm doing this, I say, grab the snake.
Grab. Cool. Yeah. If you tell the men to grab the snake, yeah, absolutely. Your guards will attempt to grab the snake.
Guards are just like, what the fuck?
Go.
How are
What
the
they
guards?
do?
Yeah, how are these guys doing?
Guards turned out.
Yeah, the guards are good. Oof, not. Let's see. What? Hold on. Actually, I need to look at something.
Oh
Let's see.
god.
That's better than my
What
fighting.
a snake's armor class.
Yeah, I gotta see the snake.
Are we looking for snake? Fine.
I have it. Hold on 1 second. I didn't expect this to happen today, but this is hilarious. I love this.
Would you expect it next week?
I
We
don't know,
aim
and,
to entertain. Come on.
Are you not entertained?
you're not
Do.
entertained.
Dude.
Sure. I'm very, very entertained.
We've taken a very
Uh,
hard turn from waking up what is now probably a 10-year-old girl to snake men.
Snake Man.
Snake man.
Watch me as I shed my skin. That was so gross.
Indeed. All right, here we go. Yeah, that is in fact the exact combat defense
Nice.
of a snake.
Guys, if we ever need to know it in the future.
Yeah, so yeah, one of the guys
May or may
grabs
not
the
be
snake
relevant.
and pulls it down and begins to like pull it off, but is having some trouble. Other men come in and grab the snake and fully pull it back in. And the snake will like turn its head and go, and you just see these full like venomous fangs kind of pop out. However, they have like fully grabbed it, and it's like just kind of like just hissing.
Yeah. I'm gonna grab the bag I had on me to precautions,
Yep.
and
You
I'm
put-
gonna hold it open and tell them to.
Put the snake in the bag.
Yep.
They put the snake in the bag, yeah, and you cinch it. You have a lot of men there. It's not hard.
Put the
It's a-
snake in the bag.
And
You now have a bag with a venomous snake in it.
that was apparently at one point in time a man.
Maybe.
True, maybe. I still haven't opened the door. In my research, did it say how long the drug lasted with?
Basically, it's most of the like research done into it is by a cult, so their knowledge is until Nehed's duty is done. What you think that means is when the high wears off.
Yeah.
Which
Okay.
you gave him a lot. Essentially 1.5 over the normal dose. So it might be he might be a bit,
Yeah.
or he might not. You're not sure.
Yeah.
Might just be a regular ass snake, guys. We don't know.
That's true.
Just be a snake now, you know?
But I will say, after a few moments, when the smoke is fully gone, there is a pile of the rags he was in, and there is only your men in here, and then a burlap sack with a venomous snake inside.
Do we have any? Off the top of my head, would I know if we had any rooms that had no windows and basically only like one door in and out? Like that way, it's.
Mm-hmm. I mean, there's like the lower dungeons, sort of. But they like most things have windows because otherwise, like, there's no like
Oxygen.
airflow essentially because castles aren't designed well and there are no vents.
Yeah.
So not really.
Okay. So
I mean,
basically-
like, you could throw them in a pit.
Yeah.
Yeah, throw him in a pit.
Yeah, you can throw them in a pit.
I'll do that, and I'm going to stay there along with a couple of guards just until the high wears off.
Yeah, you're just there for a while.
Yeah. I am observing and learning.
Excellent. Good stuff. All right. Well, we're gonna cut away from Thorsten. Do you send any word after this discovery?
Besides Vivian, it's Henrik is at the castle, right?
Yeah.
I'll have word sent to Henrik
Excellent.
just because I am not officially done with my research, so I cannot let Lady Vivian know anything just yet.
Okay. Excellent. So, Henrik, you're finally awoken. By your people who usually wake you up, dress you, your pages. And one of the pages, as he's like bringing you a shirt for the day, he goes, "Oh, by the way, my lord, there was word from Maester Thorsten. He completed his experiment, and apparently the man turned into a snake."
Nod quietly. Being like, first thought, which experiment was it? Immediately answered that question, and now did indeed turn to a snake. Okay. To know. Okay, I just continue on with getting ready for the day with that in my mind, because of course he turned to a snake. What else? What other option was there?
He goes, he is currently on the outer grounds where the men have dug a pit and have put the snake into the pit.
All right, take me to this
I
pit.
hope my uncle hasn't gone crazy.
I need to I need to make sure that yes, I go to this pit.
Excellent. You go to the pit. Yeah, you are dressed. And as we see Henrik, does Henrik look any different?
A little bit. He does. First off, he hit like another growth spurt, probably his last one. So this is probably going to be it. He's about 6'6" now.
Ooh, much
So you're
taller.
about the same
I
height as
know, yeah.
Thorsten.
Yeah.
Yeah,
father's height.
does, yes. Still slim, but like his chest and shoulders have like up a little bit like that. I mentioned before, he's definitely been training a bit more. Been, I guess, I'm trying to be like, beefing up, getting cut, super strong. Thank you.
Do you even lift, bro?
Yeah.
Dost thou even hoist?
Is that even place?
Indeed. He also has shorter hair now. It's a little bit more close to the sides, and like he still has like it's I think before was like a little more like foppish and still like very like in that boyish like had the waves a little bit very much, but it's a lot clean cut a little bit more now, and
okay, yeah.
looks I think because it's shorter a lot darker now. He always had like dark brown hair. It looks almost black at this point. Still no beard or no mustache, which is very disappointing. But he had that's the biggest thing. So I think Henrik has sort of toned down his style. He still like looks very still is dressed in like very fine silks and clothes, and will occasionally wear like those more bright colors that he was known for, but it's a little bit more toned down, a lot more like of the metallic colors that Mario was talking about, like more blackish silver with like accents of like the lighter reds and purples of his family house and everything. And biggest thing is like, yeah, doesn't really wear half capes that much anymore. On occasion,
What
but
about
like
the rings? What about the rings?
the rings are a keep. He still wears rings a lot. Yeah.
Mhm. Excellent, excellent. All right, yeah. So we definitely see what would look like a much more mature looking. He doesn't have the long hair of youth. He has this kind of more cut and
Sophistication cut of
yeah,
adult.
like he looks more like an adult. So we definitely see quite a large change in Henrik. Interesting. You are escorted in your full day clothes for the day. As you're walking, your page, which you before just had like people come and dress you and then leave. As you are getting older, this is the question I will ask you, Henrik. In the 2 years, how have you been the same amount of active in your house, more active, less active? What would you say?
I'd say definitely more active, especially because like with the recent or not recent, but like in those 2 years we had that whole like mini not war, but whatever it was where like Teedrick had to leave to like go to deal
That's
with the
happening
bandits and
right
everything.
now. Yeah.
Yeah, so I think for sure more active in the house, like in just day to day
So
responsibilities.
have you been because before Henrik would sort of wait to be asked, but has that changed? Are you like asking like what's going on? I want to know.
Yes, for sure.
Oh, okay, cool. Cool. Then you would have a page now. His name
Daily
is,
updates.
yeah, his name is Leemund.
Leemund.
Yes, Leemund. He is walking with you, and he is telling you of today's schedule. He goes, "We will of course have breakfast at your leisure. Then you will be having a sojourn with your sister out out in the fields. Then you are expected at the round of the table to continue discussion about the wedding preparations as you wish to be involved within. There will then be a light lunch, and he's just sort of like going through."
It's awesome.
Like,
You got a PDA.
yeah, a little bit.
I do. We go over our daily minutes. It's great. I also make sure that like there's always like a spot for writing sometime in the afternoon where I can just like
Yes,
go
and he
out.
goes, and then yes, he goes. Of course, then there will be your writing time until near sunset.
Yes, I think I wish to invite my cousin on that this time. Can you go ask? Make sure
Will be done.
Darren is informed for that. Yes.
I will have him ready. My lord. Yeah. So he's like, so you are led just outside, still on the castle grounds, in the outside of the first wall, but before the second wall, and there is just a dug pit, 2 guards, and your uncle sat on a chair. With essentially like a sandwich, like looking into the pit, with like a small table next to him, with like a stove, like a paperweight on paper, and like a quill and ink.
Mm-hmm.
Talk up.
By the way, Thorsten's grown a beard in the 2 years. Nothing crazy fancy, but just is
A beard.
letting it grow.
Oh,
Yes.
we have a beard. Very nice.
Show off. Okay. Just walk up. Good morning, Uncle.
Oh, good morning, Henrik.
I was informed that you one of your experiments was a success, I believe. I don't
Yes.
know what your goal was for this, but something seemed to have happened. I looked down into the pit.
You see a bag moving around?
Oh, you didn't let him out of the bag?
No. No.
Oh, it's great.
Snakes can climb vertical surfaces.
Well, not quite. I will say the pit specifically, because if it's loose earth, they won't really be
Okay.
able
If it's
Something to
loose earth, then
ground
no.
themselves
He
on.
is not in the bag then.
Yeah.
We just shook it out. Okay, there we go.
No, I uncinched the bag and I just threw the bag in so he could get out on his own.
Someone gets a long stick and just kind of like jiggles the bag a little
Ugh.
to make it get out.
Yeah, you see a snake just moving around down there.
And this was our prisoner Dez.
So he wasn't mad or just high.
Well, until I see him turn back, anything is possible.
Fair.
And I explained the whole what happened in the cell to him.
Mhm.
How he was there, and then we heard the chains clink against the wall, and then door wasn't open, and there was only a snake in there leaving.
Thorsten, do you think this... How far back does this sort of cult and this ritual date to?
Would I have known that with my 34 research?
Yeah, the cult's not that old, like comparatively to like Westeros. It's not.
A
But
century?
like yeah, probably around there. It's an old cult technically, but like not to the cults that actually are dot the land accepted
Yeah.
ones, right? None of the old gods or anything like that.
Children of the forest, that kind of stuff.
Yeah. Though the magic, right? The strange formulas involved with this, the things like them you've seen in your research over the 2 years about the family curse, and this same type of magic is just different, like just formulaically different than the ones you've been researching into. They're just, but then it's sort of like the logic is exactly the same, like why certain things mean certain things, but it's like two different schools of thought about the same subject.
Yeah. It's like it's trying to think outside the box, but instead of you're looking at the box a different way, but for the other item, the box is rotated 90 degrees and then turned 160 degrees, and you're looking at the box completely different, and it's the same thing.
Yeah,
Just,
exactly.
you have to use a completely different method of thought process just to think outside of that view of the box.
Yeah, like this is all magic, but this type of magic is because you've been looking into like blood magic and the exchanging of life forces and the power of humors and the chemicals in the body,
Yes.
but this is something different. This is
Kind of more animal magic, because obviously there's
this is about entreating like the essence of like a location almost. This is about like the land and things like that. Similar thoughts, but different executions.
Yeah.
I mean, maybe.
Maybe.
Mm.
Oh.
Just a little cray-cray. But yeah, that's basically, I just figured I'd let you know, you being Lord of the House right now.
No, I appreciate you keeping me informed for this. Any updates or new results on any of your other research experiments? And I like kind of raise an eyebrow at him, like he knows the one I'm talking about.
Yeah, well, I already knew that. I just haven't made any rolls for it yet, so.
Okay.
You can say what you want.
Yeah.
Just basically everything that was stated so far. It's not that I've hit a dead end. It's more of trying to look at it in a different way to make sure I'm understanding it from as many different angles as I can. So it
And
takes
Clarissa
a lot
has
of time.
gone off to secure some more information for you.
Yes. And among other things, which I kind of like shrug and move my head back around, which that means other ears.
Well, I don't know if I was surprised that it actually happened, or I'm excited or horrified that this is the reality of that a whole group of these men were in our house.
Right.
Point. Terrifying. Well, thank you, Thorsten. This was good good update. Appreciate that.
Of course, and if anything else changes in the near future with it, I will be sure to that you are informed.
Okay.
Please do so.
As you begin to walk away, as the moment you turn, both of you hear in the pit like an intense take of breath.
And I immediately look down.
You see Dez in the pit naked,
Stark
just
naked, I
laying.
figured.
Yeah, stark naked, just laying against the side of the wall, just trying to breathe. Looks like. Except it's really strange because like he still has the tattoos right on his mouth, but the scars from the torture he's gone are gone.
Healing too. Hell.
Yeah.
However, there is something else in the pit with him.
Which is?
It looks like skin.
Human skin?
Yep. And the guards from the tower also inform you when they like took his rags, there was what looked like some strange material in those as well.
So this is either a snake that was turned into a human, or a human turned into a snake. The conundrum.
Mm-hmm. I mean, it looks like Dez, right?
Yeah.
But
I'm gonna say out to Dez, are you there? Just
he just looks up at you. I suppose.
Do you remember anything of what happened?
Yes. It was so different that time.
How so?
Before, I just felt things more. Before, I saw like a snake, moved, but I didn't feel. And he just looks like he's then just kind of looks down and like begins to just do this with his hands.
Because he's got hands again.
Yeah.
Whoa.
Oh. Okay, I'm gonna have the guards help him out, but obviously.
Yeah, he seems kind of like dazed, so like he doesn't put up any form of fight.
And then I have his clothes put back on him so he's not going through our
Thank you.
our castle starting to
Yeah. Yeah, he like very willingly just goes back. He's like a little out of it.
Okay, this
Hey.
is oh.
Hey,
Turn to Henrik,
buddy.
I'm like, so you got your
You doing
your answer with
okay?
that? You saw?
Right.
Yeah.
I'm not crazy, right?
Henrik, yeah,
No,
you
no.
thought there was a snake in the pit, and then you walked away, and then you came back and there was a man in the pit.
Yeah, a part of me, a small part, hoped that, you would just wanted to prove you were right and just found a snake to put in a pit to scare me with. But no, you were right, fully. Okay.
This is gonna cause such an uproar at the Citadel. Okay, I'm gonna take him back down to his cell, and I've got a lot of things to mull over.
Mm-hmm.
If you need me at all, my lord, just come grab me or have someone sent for me. And I do a little bow towards him, and I scurry off to put our friend Dez back in his cell and get back to more and more and more and more in research.
Yeah, absolutely. So, Henrik, you kind of, go off to do the rest of some of your duties. Yes.
Quick thing. So during these 2 years, and I'm sorry to bring this up before,
No, no.
I would probably like this is stupid, probably not gonna work. I my time of, acting lord or whatever the fuck I'm called, would have also liked to been trying to what's the word, not tame, but attempt to my goal is eventually to attempt to ride Endeavor.
You want to break Endeavor?
Well,
don't think you
technically
can.
speaking, Endeavor is
He-
broken, but
He's
it's just
he's already
It's-
been he's someone's horse, so yeah.
like like grandpapa rode him.
Yes, yes.
Animal handling
Heard
charm,
legends.
yeah.
Yeah. So, yeah, could you just give me that roll to see how well it's been going?
I think I have 1 in
How many?
animal handling. That's it. But I have a
Mhm.
decent overall animal handling score.
How many ribs have you broken?
You have a couple in animal handling because that includes ride. It's just whether or not it's
Well,
charm.
this is not a ride roll.
It'd be a
right?
charm
Yeah.
thing, right?
It would be
Yeah.
a charm roll.
I
Yeah.
got 1 in that. That's about it. If I can find it. 1. Why am I so stupid? Okay. Need to get afterward. Oof, that's a 5. You know
ooh.
what? Wait.
Wait, hold on. That's not right. I think it says you're injured still.
Do you have
Dude.
wounds
Oh,
up?
Yeah.
does.
Did you not?
I'm so
did you not?
sorry.
It's been 2 years, my man. That's been.
I know. I keep forgetting this. I'm so dumb. Okay,
Why
I'm
don't
sorry.
why don't you make that roll
Then-
again?
Okay, I'll try it again, yeah.
lasting injury.
Unless you want to count it as
Yeah.
a 7 and get all.
Nah. We'll just
Being
do
the
a
Lord
reroll.
injury.
Tony's nice today. Thank you. Appreciate that.
You're welcome.
He's a
Take
kind
2.
and generous.
No. So you see, I tried the first week after I was still injured, and then I got really hurt after that, and that was my 5. I got broken ribs again. 17.
Holy fucking shit!
Teacher's gonna be so mad. If you get it,
Yeah, 17. Yeah, so there have been times where basically over the 2 years, your horse master pulls Endeavor out of his thing, puts it to like the little corral. You walk into the corral, and you essentially have just stared down Endeavor, and Endeavor has
Yes.
stared down you. And over the 2 years, he's mostly just been staring down, and then eventually he just like walks away into the thing, and the horse master just like nods at you and like walks away, and you're like,
Good job.
I didn't die. yet."
Yes. Slow steps, guys. Slow steps.
And over the 2 years, he has been allowing you to get 1 step closer every so often. And you have gotten to the point where you are basically right next to him now.
Oh.
But that is all. If you tell me you have tried to ride him, he has not let you.
Fair. Okay. I'll get there.
And the horse master has been like constantly cautioning you, like, hey, whoa, like, and all of his haze and woe have been mostly towards you and not Endeavor.
Yeah. Too much. Back up. Yeah. Understood.
Back off, Harry, back off. First you bow.
Yes. I do the whole hippogriff ritual every time. Early on, when I still have my half cape, I have to leave it to the side. So sure.
Yep. But yeah, he has
Right.
let you get close to him. He doesn't let you touch him, for sure. But that's been going there. The main question, also, I would like to just ask before we go over to Vivian. On the front, that is, your bride to be. Has anything happened there? Have you attempted anything or no?
I have.
Okay.
It's hard because I haven't
You can say whatever you want. You can say you've attempted, this is what you've done, like do whatever you want, and then we can talk very briefly about that.
Right, no. So I think because we already mentioned before, I've been writing her letters, haven't really got much of a response there, and then
So
occasionally,
are you still writing her letters?
of course.
Okay.
And then
Mhm.
go ahead.
No.
And then occasionally during the semi at first forced courting visits to High Garden, yes. I get the feeling that she's still pretty standoffish at the very least towards me. Um, and I think I'm mostly now just trying to gauge her person. Like, what does she like? Like, I'm trying to get like.
Have you? Wait, okay, so have you been like bringing her like presents and stuff? Is
I'd
that
say
what I'm
small.
hearing?
I'd say small things, yes,
Small
because nothing that
things.
would be like I don't want to show up
No.
like, hey, here's a diamond necklace. Please like me again. I know it's not gonna work, but like, yeah, some small, simple things that are like more meaningful, if not very ostentatious.
Okay. Okay. And that's been. Would you say that's pretty consistent?
It is pretty consistent, and I've also been like, I've also when I visit her, I've been I think talking a lot about her coming to the house and like being excited about like the kind of like I guess our future together. And at first
Okay.
it's a little awkward, but I'm just like, oh, like you're going to like love this, like describing like the fields and everything, like these, like how you know.
Would you say Henrik has been like, flirting with her and trying to like not obviously I'm not saying you've been trying to seduce her, but have you been trying to like do that kind
Yes,
of thing?
yes, I want to as
Okay.
much as I can make her feel like I do want this to happen because I do. I want this to work out, and I want her to feel valued and appreciated coming into this
Okay.
new house and new relationship.
Okay. Then can you just make me a persuasion charm roll, please?
Yeah, for sure.
Sorry, let me just
I get to add 2 to that now.
Aren't you,
Yeah.
aren't you special?
Aren't I such a sweet boy?
Sexy now. Even more
Hey.
sexy.
I'm full young adult Nicholas Holt right now, just like, oh, super nice. Great. Charm, right?
Yes.
12 plus 2. Actually, oh, that's not great. That's a lot of ones. I get to re-roll ones if
you
you
get
get
to
me attractive, right?
Yeah, you do.
That's 3 ones, so I'll try it. Oh, still 2.
Okay.
Oh,
So that
3.
doesn't change the roll at all.
No. I don't know if I'm not gonna get any fights. Can I
Would you like to
Destiny
use a
point?
destiny point to re-roll
Yeah.
that? You may.
I would.
You
Okay,
may.
try this again. 13. Any
13.
ones on that
There
one?
is a
There is a
one.
one. There is a one.
Try it again. Here we go.
4.
Okay.
That does change the score to 14 plus
Plus
2 is 16. Significantly better. Okay. I'm not going to tell you if you've succeeded or not.
Fine.
But that is for my own notes. Excellent.
I realized like some things that I would get her and everything. I have her family house thing open right now, and I saw hers is like one of her symbols was like the sun. So I think some things I get her like are sort of like emblems of that, with also like flowers around, like maybe like earrings at one point, or like some small like trinkets like that for sure.
Okay, good to know. All right. Vivienne, my lady.
Yes.
We come to you in the main parlor
Mhm.
with an army of people around a table, while because you are essentially simultaneously kind of working with the wedding planning, but you are also dealing with a lot of logistic things about the house. Most of it's just approval. You don't have to necessarily make decisions, but you can obviously. You always input your own thing. You have been, of course, working with your 2 new co-stewards, Catalina and Orton. Catalina has been by your side quite a lot. And there seems to be lots of missives back and forth. Orton seems the more field guy, and Catalina sort of seems like the one who informs you and knows how to thread it. Vivienne, does anything about your look change within 2 years, or have you found perfection?
I think after giving birth to 7 children, I think I have found perfection.
7.
There's no need to improve on it. I think stress wise, there might be like a little bit more like paler hairs that are trying to turn into gray.
Mhm.
But I don't think I'm of the age where grays are appropriate yet. So I've tried to make sure they're still of my golden
Mhm.
tresses.
Yes. Vivian, how have you been dealing for the past
Mhm.
month? You have been Tedric is gone. He has been long since distracted with this event going on in his own lands, and now he has marched with the army, and you know he is going to another battle.
Well, I have moved Eric's like crib into my room because for
Okay.
some reason I can't sleep alone anymore, weirdly. I'm not gonna look into it at all. But and I have definitely moved back to the original forelay before we expanded to where the uh Philippa and Tasea's room are now across from mine.
Valena, you mean?
Valena. Yes, sorry. Thank you. Valena and Philippa's rooms are now across from mine so that they are within reach of me, and Eric is in my room with me while Tedric is away. Just for no reason.
Can I get a clarification from you guys? Is that Eric with an E or Eric with an A?
I always thought it was with an A.
I said also A.
I thought it was
Very good.
AERI, whatever.
That
What-
also works.
Whatever is the most
To see
fantasy
like-
appropriate.
I mean, the
Both.
AE naming scheme is very Targaryen, isn't it?
I love it.
We
Eric, right?
are secretly hardcore Targaryen supporters, so
That
you
dragon
know.
blood.
All right. I
Mhm.
thank God. All right. AERIC. Eric.
Mhm.
Beautiful. Yeah, absolutely. So you've been kind of dealing with that a bit more. You know, I can see you've been worried. There has, of course, been a lot of other things that you've had to deal with, as it cannot get out what that could possibly be happening in the Eight Lands, right?
No, not at all. Exactly.
It could be bad. You have, obviously, you're not in a precarious position in any means, but that doesn't mean you want to walk towards a cliff, even though
No.
it's just because the cliff is 500 feet
I'm-
for you doesn't mean you want to start walking towards
I'm
it.
definitely using the wedding between Henrik and Ashella as the biggest smokescreen as we can like exploit from it.
Oh, okay. So you've been like, well, we're going to have a wedding soon, so he's just mopping up any
Indeed.
even remotely outlying things
Exactly,
just to be
so
sure.
that travel to and fro, no one has any interference at all.
Yeah.
Not
And of
those-
course, the other part of that is it's really important Tedric does take care of this before the wedding,
Exactly.
because it could be bad.
Mhm.
Excellent. Yeah. So in the 2 years, what have you been what have you been doing? We saw a little bit about it. The is the wives club up and running?
It is indeed. With Lady Delilah's I didn't get I don't have a name in my notes to who she chose for the Riverlands. She just told me that she had someone in
Oh,
mind.
I told you it's Lady Tullison.
Thank you. Okay. That's right, because it was Clarissa's cousin.
Yes, it was
Thank-
Dunstan's mom. Yeah.
Mhm. And I believe I was asking Orton if he had anyone in the Crown Lands that he would recommend.
Yes, absolutely. He does actually. Orton has an excellent recommendation for the Crown Lands. She is though young, already gained a lot of support and connections, and she is widely liked, and she does actually have a small fondness for you, as it is, of course, Sylvie Manning.
Oh my god. Fuck yes. Fuck yes.
Formerly Sylvie Hart.
How's her baby? What did she have?
Yes. Do I have
Right,
any
she was
update on that?
pregnant.
Oh
Yeah.
yes, she had a boy.
Oh my god.
Oh,
Oh, boy, right out the gate.
Mm-hmm.
for
Oh,
her.
girl,
Yep.
go.
Yep. She
Okay.
had a boy.
Okay.
Its name is I think its name is Arthur after
His father.
his
I
father who died.
Mhm.
forgot the guy. Kevin. That was his name. Her
Kevin.
husband. Yeah.
Kevin.
Yes,
That's
Mhm.
Kevin,
her cousin.
who is your
Yes.
cousin?
Yes.
Who's-
Yes.
Mhm.
I keep forgetting his
And
name.
my nephew. Yes.
Mhm.
Then I for sure would have sent her a raven informing her of
Yes. Oh yes, yep.
and
yes,
inviting her and Kevin to the wedding.
of course, yes, they will of course come. They're very
Mhm.
excited.
Mhm.
But yes, no, Sylvie does respond positively.
Oof. Beautifully.
Yeah, so she seems very excited about it.
Mhm.
And seems to in fact already talking about she seems very like she's already been planning stuff like this.
Girl, yes.
Mm-hmm.
I love ambitious wives.
Mm-hmm. Yep. So far we have Sylvie Manning, Cassandra Rald,
Eve
what's-
Tullison.
yes, Eve Tullison,
Mhm.
Delilah, I
Mm.
think Primaris, and of
Mhm.
course Vivian Weirlight.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yep. So you have currently the Crown Lands, the
Mhm.
Mountains of the Moon, the Riverlands, the Westerlands, and the Reach all tucked in. The only place that is very important and very influential right now that you do need connections is the Stormlands,
Gotcha.
which
Okay.
unfortunately you don't really have many connections there. And if you did after the war, those are gone.
Those are yeah.
Mhm.
So if I could send possibly if Orton has any connections either through his spies or in his dealings to maybe begin investigating who could
He
be
will begin that
Mhm.
investigation.
Yeah. So that is so that and then I honestly genuinely think that I have sent ravens with a shell because as knowing the situation and as her future mother-in-law, I genuinely do want Ashella to feel comfortable and welcome here, even though the circumstances of this engagement are on the terms of something that may not have been the most ambitious. But I also thought she was delightful to begin with, so I want to make sure that her wedding dreams are realized. So, um, definitely corresponding ravens between her and I to make sure that Wormwood is executing Ashella's wedding.
Oh yes, of course. No.
Mhm.
Yeah, no, he has like ideas for like the placements, and he goes,
Mhm.
I know long tables, I know there's such a typical thing, but we're going to have I've already talked to a woodworker and a carpenter, and we are going to make entirely new tables. Think of this
Mhm.
vine, they are going to be they aren't going to be straight, they're going to be curved like like a vine growing
Oh.
to show the age and power of House Weirlight.
It's as if you have
And it will
reached
be
into-
growing up and spreading outwards towards the sun, which is of course the bride and her groom.
It's as if you've reached into my mind and
Oh my gosh.
created something far better than ever could have been imagined.
Which will also secretly allow us reshuffling any kind of guest we need quite seamlessly without anyone really noticing what's going on.
I didn't even think of. Oh my god! I didn't even think of that. Brilliant. You are master of your craft.
Well, it is my call. I think some fight, some write, and some make wedding days come true.
I believe it. Very good.
That's actually excellent. Barris, did you write that down? Should I be writing things down?
Barris, you should be writing everything down.
We see that on his traveling caravan. Wormwood makes his dream come true.
My favorite brother.
Vivian puts her arm through Wormwood and it's like, stroll into the garden.
Mhm.
Yes, come walk with me.
Mhm.
Excellent. So you have been quite busy
Mhm.
delegating everything. Is there any specificity you wanted with like the Reach guest list. Obviously, everyone.
Mhm. I definitely would like to extend an invitation to the minor hassles that would not be problematic.
Sure.
So it might take some
Would not be
finagling or it might take some finagling on a roll to one that would accept invitations that I
Well,
can
all the
coerce.
minor houses would for sure accept the invitation.
Okay,
right?
understood.
Like, I mean, this is a chance for them to
Mhm.
negotiate, like talk with people, right? Like
Yeah.
they will 100% accept the
Mhm.
invitation.
Okay. Let me see here. Sorry, I'm checking through my notes. Um uh Nothing that comes immediately into mind, and anyone can for sure interject if there's some threads that I am not currently looking at. Um I for sure would like to invite Patrick to the wedding. Um
Okay.
because Mariella has actually told me that she's interested in a boy, so
Absolutely. Absolutely.
as a
She has
mother, I
told you like
must
2 boys, but yes.
yes, as a mother, I must put my nose in business. So, I'll invite yes, Patrick to the wedding.
Yep. Heir of House Mallister.
Heir of House Mallister, yes. Hmm. I'll invite my mother and father because their grandson's getting married.
I guess we have to.
Of
Uh,
course.
Your brother.
Mostly my father, but my fucking mother by extension. So.
Michael.
Yes, Michael is sent an invitation to him, of course, if he can get away, because I know being of the Kingsguard is very important. So by that, yeah, for sure, the not just the hand of the king, but his wife, because I know her and Cassandra also have some kind of tentative relationship, like
Lyra, yeah.
Lyra, yeah. They're necessarily friends, but Lyra for sure listens to Cassandra. We saw that very briefly in
Yes.
King's Landing. But yeah, because that'll be most of it, because I think a lot of what I plan to do will happen like at the wedding. So just making sure those invitations get out.
Absolutely. Yeah. I will say the Wives Club have been a little bit vocal about if you've brought it up with them at all about like who your daughter wants to marry.
Yes, I would for
Yeah,
sure.
a lot of them have been like, oh, well, I mean, if Henrik's marrying Ashella, like, especially Eve is like, your daughter should definitely marry Patrick.
Eve would.
Like, yeah, like it
Yeah.
could secure a much more the Warhawk faction of the Riverlands. And if you have the Warhawk faction, the farmers, which my family represents, will fall in. Well, I think I can get them to fall in the line much easier as well. The Mallisters definitely are the more aggressors of our lands. Very much kind of hear of that notion. However, Delilah goes, yes, that would be good, but I mean, Garland. Now we know Garland, of course, is not the heir to High Garden, but
He might as well be, with the actual heir being a cripple.
they all look at each other and goes, no one's going to, like, a cripple will never be Warden of the South.
Understood.
Like, so to have her in that position, I mean, fantastic. It would be fantastic. And besides, Delilah looks at Eve. Patrick has a sister. And Eve smiles a little bit and goes, yes, he does. And she just like looks off to the side.
Do I know anything about Patrick's based on her expression? Like, is she?
You don't really know much about her sister, but what you do know is no one is good enough for Dunstan in Eve's eyes.
I see.
Dunstan is, because her, like, when she was pregnant with Dunstan, her like husband died, so all she had was Dunstan. So just very like, yeah, like very like, this is my boy, my precious boy. Like, you thought you were aggressive and helicoptery with your children. You are not. Once you've seen Eve's parenting.
This is
Then
the
what you're
last
saying
remnant of
is
my
I
husband.
have the perfect parent award. And
Yeah.
does Cassandra have a opinion on anything of that matter?
Cassandra would see your job at securing more power in the Reach to be more
Gotcha.
important,
Okay.
and that we'll have to leave that more to Eve. And however, you know, who your daughter marries is up to you. And of course, Cassandra has given you small updates when you ask, but only when you ask about your son.
I trust her, and I do not want to seem overbearing because we have built a collective of wives in our respective region. So I do not want to seem overbearing. So I think twice a year, I feel like that would be sufficient enough. I'm trying so hard because Garrick is a treasure.
Yep. Garrick recently had his 15th name day.
15.
How big is he?
He has sprouted.
Great.
Did he take the massive trait?
Well, hold on. He's only 15, guys.
Only 15 guys.
He's still got growing to do. But she says he now looks Richard in the eye.
Richard is not a small man as far as my notes have oh boy. Okay.
There was never any doubt he was T-Drex.
And she also says that his hair has done the same.
Oh my. He's just, so he has just a full lion's
Well,
mane.
yeah, he also has a full beard.
At 15.
And it comes off his face as well.
Henrik is going to be so upset.
That's what happened to Henrik. It's why he can't grow a beard. Just because
It just skipped all the way to Garrick.
You just waited for Garrick.
Garrick stole it.
Excellent. All right. Excellent. And then if that's the case, then this might have to do at the actual wedding, but
she also informs you Garrick Garrick has also Richard saw laid with his first girl.
he's not in love with her, is he?
She's like, not that I'm aware of.
Oh, good. He's not like his brother then.
He goes, and don't worry, it was just Richard's idea. It's how he night fathers. I mean, from what I understand, I don't think Garrick was against it.
Well, of course not. He's his father's son, after all. Anyway, no. Excellent. Well, great. My second son's not a virgin anymore, and he's not in love with the first girl he laid with. So parenting, 100%, as far as I'm concerned. Then I guess it would be. It might be having to deal with later on, but I definitely want to really hard focus on with Cassandra being more pointed toward me having more control of the Reach. I, for sure, whatever roles are necessary, or if it's a later scene, to get into whatever Baylor Hightower was mentioning. I'm willing to talk.
I will say, Baylor has been a lot more distant ever since the events of that, and he has been seemingly maybe a little butthurt over everything. Vivian, you personally believe Baylor is handling the situation fairly immaturely, in your opinion?
He's a man.
Literally about to say he's a man. So, that hasn't been great, but
if there are avenues I could possibly go to circumvent, possibly, because he's mentioned it, but that doesn't mean he's the only one a part of it. So I definitely
but you definitely don't know who is.
All right,
is the problem.
For sure. Then maybe that'll be something I send Orton also along to do.
Sure, yeah, Orton can be working on that. But right now, in this moment, is there something you want your will enacted upon the lands? Or like a plan associated, anything to further your schemes as you have your court about you?
As far as I know, Thorsten and Clarissa haven't told anyone aside from Henrik of the main house of what's happened, correct?
Yes.
Okay, so I don't know about that.
No, you don't know about the curse or any of the
Mhm.
spooky shit.
All right. And as far as I know, everyone in our immediate lands adore Tidrick, correct?
They do.
Okay.
But there definitely has been sort of a strange like a lot of superstition going around. Like the small folk are seeing ghosts in the corn again and whatever. Like there has been a sort of like disturbance, but according to but Orton and like your stewards are like already looking into it and dealing with it. And basically saying like it's not really of any. It is below your concern, ma'am.
Understood.
Like, it is small folk business, and like they've like they're so far like our bottom lines haven't been affected. So
understood. Okay, then I guess I would. I don't know if it's within my purview, but to see how oh crap, I forgot what the first blonde girl's name was.
Iris?
Yes, Iris and Tiger are doing, because I know I extended an invitation to them.
Yeah, they're coming.
Yeah.
They ended up not really making it to
the twins.
the twins the party due to complications.
Mhm.
But yes, no, they yeah, they're coming.
All right, then no problem. Then of my meeting and if there's any way within the timeline I can start to begin repairing relations with the minor houses, because I know the major houses are coming to the wedding, so I can work on them then. But relations with the minor houses, especially presenting Valena and Philippa, since they are toddlers now.
You want to have okay.
Play- oh my god, a play date.
Yes.
A reach play date.
A mass reach.
The reach
invite
babies.
a lot of the minor ladies.
Yes.
Have them frolic in the poppies.
Mm-hmm.
The water gardens. Yes. Oh, lovely.
Yeah, absolutely. You
Is
can
that too
begin.
much?
No, it's not at all. You can begin organizing that and sending out invitations. And I mean, you are literally of such a high status that none of these minor houses literally. I mean, they can say no, but they're not going to. They're not. Why would they? Are you kidding me? This is a chance, right?
I'm here to make friends.
Yeah, absolutely. So I think we are going to take our first break for the evening. And when we come back, we're going to see how that goes. So stick with us. It's a little, as we can see, been a little more casual today, just sort of seeing how everyone's doing before I, of course, implicate horrific drama.
If a man turns into a snake as casual, I can't wait to see complicated.
You say that like it's a joke, but you are correct. Yes.
A whole ass man did turn into a whole ass snake. So like,
Supposedly.
you know.
Alrighty. But
All right. See you in a bit. Water. All that good stuff.